All right, welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Jack with Bonfire Locks, and today we're talking about Play a Profit, how to get funded, how the site works, what sports trading is, and all the nuances that go in between it. Because Play a Profit's been around for a little while, but now it's open to the public. A lot of our clients inside of the Discord are starting to get packages, and as more and more people are talking about it, people are asking questions. How does it work? Does it work for me? How much money do I need to get started with it? Is it the right option for me? And as I mentioned, it's more open to the public now. So you're going to start seeing more and more creators talking about it, and it is different from a traditional sports book because it's sports trading and not a sports book. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how Player Profit works, how you can get funded, how you can receive payments. Like someone, I'll post a link in the video down below. But one of the players on Player Profit went through the two challenges, got funded, and got a payment of $43,000 in 1 month, which is crazy. You got $43,000 in 1 month from Player Profit, which is insane. But I had a guy literally 3 days ago in the Discord over there. He got funded. So this is real life money, guys. This is legit. So let's break it down. So let's start at the beginning. Let's scroll up. So Player Profit is sports trading. Now it's similar. Let me get how it works. Okay, perfect. So if you're familiar with like financial TikTok or stuff like that, trading or funded trading, stuff like that, is when someone's really good at either crypto trading or stock market trading. However, they don't have they have the expertise in it, but they don't have a big bankroll to work with, right? So so you have like $1,000, $10,000, and you're showing like really good returns. These other people, these high end investors, will back you, 10x your bankroll, 100x, 1,000x your bankroll, or whatever, in investments, and then you get to keep a portion of the returns that you make, and then the investors they keep their portion. That's how it works. So these people they try to find the best of the best. They invest in them. They invest in you. They invest in me, and then they use your expertise to make a profit. So they keep a certain percentage, and you keep a certain percentage as well. And so sports trading is this new. It's a newer concept. It's not brand new. It's been around for a couple of years now, but Player Profit is the go-to site for sports trading. They have investors. They're also they're trying to find, the best sports bettors. That way they can find what are the best picks, get a lot of information, um, and help out, your investors. And they're almost like a third party for helping investors find the top sports bettors. They want to see who's performing well. And that's how it works. So you can see here, there's 3 steps. It's pretty straightforward once you get the hang of it, once you understand it. And it's you take the challenge. So there's the challenges you have to pass through 2 phases, which we'll get into later in the video. Once you get there, you're in the third phase, which is called funded. Once you're in the funded round, you keep 70% of the profits, and Player Profit keeps 30%. Again, that's how they make the money. They make money off of the initial package as well as keeping 30%. Because again, they want you guys to do the whole point is they want to find the best of the best sports bettors, because then if you win, they win too. It's like a mutual partnership. This isn't like a sports book where they're really hoping that you bet a ton of money and you lose a lot. They really want to find the best players. And so that's why if you see all the top handicappers, they're starting to use this site. And it's big. It's a huge momentum in the market. Again, I've been sports betting for over 10 years, and this is truly one of the best concepts to help any size unit better get access and to really increase and have out their payroll. So again, the third step, I kind of talked about it, but you keep the profits. Trade like a pro with your funded account. You keep 70%, they keep 30. So again, it's simple steps. Take the challenge, pass the challenge, get funded, and then you keep 70% of the profits, and they keep 30%. As I mentioned, I'm going to leave a link in the description below about a guy who received a $43,000 payout from Play Profit. So it's possible. People are funded in my Discord. It's happening all the time. You also see too here, they have traditional sports. So they have the UFC, they have baseball, basketball, soccer. I use it every day. I bet on baseball, hockey, basketball right now. The big thing I'm really excited for the NFL season because, as many of you guys know, if you follow the channel, my best sports are the NFL and college football. So that's what I'm most excited, and I will take the most, take advantage of performing really well on the site. And that's what I'm very excited about. But if you are trying to learn about it, I would definitely advise getting it now so you're learning more about it. And you see here, 195 countries, 1,000 sports teams, 30 plus leagues. So one of the big things is the bankroll versus player profit. So the old traditional way, limited bankroll, say you're a college kid, you don't have that much money, or, just in general, a lot of people don't, you're betting with what you can afford. And so your bankroll really holds you back. It's also too, it gets risky. You're risking your own money on every single pick. Whereas player profit, the bets are risk free. You pay the small fee up front, and then you're betting risk free. Again, you're betting with other people's money. It's risk free for you after you pay the fee. And then again, it's risk free because then they keep 30% of the profits afterwards. It's not structure like, all the way your structure. There's no structure. You're guessing. Here are the strategies on how to do it. There's also guardrails to make sure you're not just, chasing after your losses or doubling up on your wins. There's minimum bets you can make and maximum bets to make sure you safeguard, really keep you on your guardrails. And then there's minimum losses daily. So you can only go down 10% of your bankroll in a day and 50% overall. So that way too, you're not betting on every single thing, trying to see if some hit. You can't lose 10% of your bankroll in a day, or else, you lose your account. Withdrawals, a lot of times they can be difficult. This, you get fast payouts every 30 days. It's great. And those support our guidance is traditional. But with player profit, there's a ton of help. There's a ton of communities. I have a Discord about, in general, about my picks, different sports, and Discord and player profit specifically. They have their own Discord as well that I'm in. The people who work for player profit are constantly in there helping out people with any questions, seeing what's going on. There's a ton of funded people in there. So if you're interested, definitely check out their Discord as well. So here is kind of the breakdown of how it works. You can see here on the standard version, I recommend standard, but pretty much there's all these bankroll sizes, right? So it starts at $1,000 bankroll, 5,000, 10,000, 25,000, 50,000, $100,000 bankroll. And again, you see the price. That's the fee you pay upfront to get access to the initial bankroll. So for $1,000, it's $30. 5,000 is 125, and it goes all the way up to 100,000. Now the best bang for your buck is the 100,000. And you see here, costs $1,000, you get access to $100,000. Whereas here, costs $30, you get access to $1,000, which is still great. You're 30xing your bankroll with a small fee up front. Again, say your unit size is $20. You pay this up front, and then you get to bet with that. You don't have to risk any of your money after that. You pay that up front. You'd put into a betting account anyways. Whereas $100,000, pay $1,000 up front, you're 100xing your bankroll right there. The other thing too, if you use my code Bonfire, they'll give you 10% off any package you make, whether it's 1,000, 5,000, all the way up to 100,000. So in reality, the $100,000 account is only $900 if you use my code Bonfire. The link will be in the description below. Check that out. Again, you save $100 or you save however much, depending on which account you get. Now there's, again, 3 phases. So the challenge is phase 1 and phase 2. So you have to make a minimum of 20 picks. So I'm just going to go based off of everything on the $100,000 account, because that's the one I have multiple of them. I'll show you kind of what the back end looks like once you make the purchase as well. So again, the minimum, make 20 picks. Phase 1, minimum risk is 1,000, maximum risk is 5,000. Again, talked about it too, earlier, that there's guardrails set in place, right? So you can't be betting, you get access to $100,000. You can't bet $100,000. Maximum risk is 5,000 because they want to make sure that it's not just luck, right? So that's why you have to make a minimum of 20 picks. Max daily loss is 10%. So you can't go under 10% of your daily bankroll. Max drawdown, which means your max loss overall on the account, is 15%, and your profit target is 20%. And there's no inactivity timer. So say you're on the phases on the challenges. So say you're not performing well. You're like, hey, I want to take a pause, rest, or reset a couple of days. You're good. Or two, if you're like, hey, I don't like, I'm up a lot. I want to make sure I'm really being very specific with my picks. Because again, the whole thing is they want to get the best picks, the best betters. So they don't want you just kind of throwing bets all over the place. So they're like, hey, take your time. So again, place minimum of 20 picks. Minimum risk is $1,000. Maximum risk is 5,000. Daily loss. And then you got to get to 20%. Once you get 20%, you move into the phase two. So again, phase two is literally just the same thing as phase one. They just want to make sure you're truly a profitable sports bettor, which is why you have to do it twice. So you do it twice, and then you move into the fun round. Once you're in the fun round, again, you have to make minimum of 20 picks, minimum risk 1,000. All these things stay the same. The only difference is one, there is an inactivity timer of 5 days, and two, there is no profit target. So once you're in the funded round, you keep 70% of the profits you make. So for example, say you're in the funded round, right? You pass the challenges, you do well, you're in the funded round, and then you make in the first month you make $45,000. You keep 70% of that. Say you make $10,000, you keep $7,000. You get payout of $7,000. You make $20,000, etc., because you've already done it twice. So once you're in the funded round, it's great. So again, you pay the fee up front, and then you get access to this large amount of money, which is truly life changing. I mean, that guy, if you watch, I highly recommend watching the video. He talked about too how the first few times he got 2 accounts and he failed on it. Believe one time he got funded and then didn't perform well and lost it, but he kept doing it. And once he got funded, once got good at it, then he hit that 40,000. Now, the best thing about this is in sports betting, you're either win or lose, right? So if you lose and you're not doing well, if you go down 15%, that means if in reality, if you were in a sports book, you would have lost a ton of money. You would have lost $15,000. Whereas here, you only lost $1,000. You lose the initial upfront fee. But again, you can get another package. You can also do, if you want to test it out, right? Like you're like, hey, I could buy like the 100,000, but I want to start out with the lower amount, kind of test it out, gauge the waters. You can do the lower ones and then buy the higher bankrolled ones later. I would advise, once you feel comfortable, get the higher bankroll, because it's the same challenge. Whether you're doing the $1,000 challenge or the 100,000, you're doing the same exact thing. So I recommend, unless you're like only doing it for like testing purposes, just to get a feel of it. Once you get a feel of it, get the $100,000 account. Or if you have the money and you can't afford to do it, get the $100,000 account. And you can use my code Bonfire on any package. So say you're like, hey, I want a $5,000 to test it out and $100,000 for once I feel comfortable, once I understand it a little bit. You can use my code Bonfire on both. You can on the initial package. If you lose one, you can always use my code Bonfire. So definitely check that out. Link is in the description below. But it's great. So once you get that, let me scroll down. So you see here, I'll just show you. You go in, my code Bonfire, you get $100 off, right? 10% off any package. So, which is phenomenal. So now we bought the package. Now, what does the backend look like? So they just revamped it. It's Player Profit 3.0 now. Backend is great. So this is a fresh account that I have. It's a $100,000 account. It shows you here how well you've done during the month. You can see here the number of picks you made. So you see here, like this is all of like the challenges, right? So you got to hit minimum of 20 picks, profit target. You got to win 20, go up $20,000, max daily loss. Like I said, max daily loss, $10,000, maximum loss, $15,000. Again, I'm doing this all based off the $100,000 account. Then you can come here, you can see how many picks have you made? What was your last pick? How many, what's the average winning? A lot of great data on here to see how well you're performing and different things like that. Any picks you have, they'll show up here. And then let's see, picking history. So this will show you kind of how well you've been performing across the days, anything active and closed. And now down here, let's go. We got a ton of baseball going on, right? So this is where you would actually make your picks. So you come back here, say we're in the MLB. So when you look at the user interface, it's set up the exact same way as a sportsbook because they're taking real lines. These aren't like fabricated lines. These are the same lines that you'll see at other sports books. I use Outlier for my statistics. It's the same lines you get there. Pretty much you go in, you click what bet you want, and then you can do parlays, you can do individual bets. So again, it performs pretty much the same way as a traditional sports book. But again, you were betting with other people's money, and you were able to, you're able to bet risk free because you pay the initial fee up front, and then you get access to the bankroll, and then you go through the challenges, and then once you're funded, you keep 70% of the profit. So, like I said, it's great for any sized bettor because if you're small and you really just want to gauge what's going on, you're new to it, get the $5,000 account, pay $125 up front, and then you get access to $5,000. Which this is why I'm able to. A lot of other top bettors are able to place $1,000 risk free on these bets because we have these. We got these accounts, and we're able to bet $1,000 on games. Like, for example, I made over $10,000 last week sports betting. Right, I would not have been able to do that without player profit because my typical unit's like $100, $50 to $100, which is normal for a lot of players. But because I was like, okay, I'm betting all this amounts of money daily, weekly. Let's get these accounts, and then instead of betting $100 a game, now I'm betting $1,000 a game, and now instead of making $1,000 in a week, I make that in a day. So it's truly life-changing money. And I would not be promoting the product if I didn't believe in it, if I didn't use it myself. If you look at my Discord or on my social channels, that's where the picks are coming from. I use Player Profit every single day. So again, I highly recommend it. Highly use it. If you have any questions, DM me join the Discord. I'll leave the link in the description below. DM me again. Use my code Bonfire for 10% off. Player Profit is truly changing lives. Great money. My clients are getting funded. So take advantage of it now, especially too. Like for me, like with the MLB baseball season, I'm really trying to get used to it. And then that way, I use it now, get very good at it, perform well, get funded, and then in the NFL season, just absolutely crush it and run up the accounts. So again, I appreciate you guys listening to it. If you have any questions, again, write them in the chat below or comment any questions you have. Let me know in Discord. Again, I answer any questions in there. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, and share it with your friends because this is really going to take off. It's really changing. So share this video with your buddies. And so, yeah, I highly recommend it. I wouldn't be recommending it if I didn't like the product, if I didn't use it. So, yeah, use my code Bonfire. Get 10% off any package you use. And on top of that, if you get a $25,000, $50,000, $50,000, $100,000 account, I will give you the rest of the summer for free on VIP picks. So join that and let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Peace.